I think we all know who let the dogs out, and they're not going back into the doghouse until they've dug up what they buried 10 years ago. Lovell versus Lusk in the 2A state championship game. First quarter, Lovell wearing the blue. Cody Savage gets a high kiss off the glass to get things started. The big man had a big game, and his team is on the board first. Lusk may not have had the height, but they found ways to get over it. Case in point, Hunter Dockery will go over the defense on this 10-foot jumper, and the junior will tie the game up at 2 points apiece. The Bulldogs like to get the ball inside, although it was not always an easy 2 points. Austin Ellis gets rejected by Travis Smith, but he'll recover and score on the other side of the hoop, which works just as well to make the score 4-2. The Tigers had their claws sharpened for this one early on. Dockery again, this one pouncing from long range. 13 points for the junior, and that would put his team up 5-4. Last year's state runner-ups were ready for a fight just like last year. Ryan Clark with the quick catch and shoot to put the boys in blue ahead by a score of 6-5. Lovell learned a few new tricks since last year, and they used them. This one is called sit, stay, fake the defender, and score. Nice trick. Now it's 8-5. The Bulldogs made the first run of the game, and here's their favorite activity. Dylan Holtgren says, go fetch, and he got 3 points. 12 points for the senior, and his team now has a 12-5 advantage. Lusk was just lying in wait for their opportunities. Derek Vandenbosch was waiting underneath the hoop to collect the offensive board and stick the ball back in for 2. That would get them back into this game, trailing 12-8 after the first 8 minutes. Second quarter, the Tigers would get closer. Derek Vandenbosch gets around the defense and finds a back way to the hoop, and that would only put his team down 12-10. Let's bring in a little defense. You saw one rejection earlier by Smith. Here's a better looking one. His teammates would eventually convert on the far side to even this contest at 12-all. The boys in blue would get a few second chances and make the most of them. Ellis had a double-double in this game. 10 points and 14 boards for the 6'4" senior, and his team now has a 17-14 lead. The opposition, meanwhile, was getting the bounces to go their way the first time. Smith will provide an illustration, and he almost put too much on that one. Tigers trail 17-16. But Lovell's height was hard to defend against at times. Savage had a pretty good reach as well. He also had a double-double with 17 points and 10 assists. That board and putback would give his squad a 19-16 advantage. The big man took on all comers. He's 6'6" after all. Even 3 defenders could not stop him, as he would help the Bulldogs build a 23-16 advantage going into the locker room. Third quarter, the lead would grow a little more. You can't let Savage get that close to the hoop. He'll score easily. That would cap off a 12-2 run to put the Bulldogs up 26-16. Lusk had some work to do in order to climb back into this one. Smith can stand up to the big guys, and he'll get 2 points for his efforts. That has his team down 26-18. They had to plug away point by point, and that's what you have to do sometimes. Smith scores again on the baseline to cut the deficit to 7. The Tigers trail 30-23. Lovell was not about ready to let this one get away from them. Great drive and finish by Holtgren as he would turn on the jets and running quickly to score. That would make this a 32-23 contest. Lusk would stay the course. Dockery from about 10 feet and good. His squad was on the wrong end of a 32-27 score going into the final 8 minutes, which is the closest that they've been in a while. Fourth quarter, the boys in blue would counter, and their lead just got bigger and bigger. Of course, having Savage helped. Now it's 36-27. Lusk needed to get some other players in on the scoring act because the regulars could only do so much. Here's Kevin Christensen making a deposit. That helped a little bit, but they still trail 38-31. But the Bulldogs could do that too. Clark is still around, and he'll provide an answer. And the inevitable is starting to get closer with the scoreboard reading 40-31. The boys in blue can also play some defense. When you're 6'6" like Savage, you better have at least a couple of blocks in this game. How about no? As in no way is anyone going to score on him again. The Tigers gave it a good effort, but in the end, Lovell's big men had big games, and it was too much to overcome. We'll give Christensen the last highlight just to show that his team did not go down without a fight. The boys in blue have been waiting since 2003 for this one, and Savage and company can finally celebrate because they're taking the title back to the doghouse. Final score, 46-35. This time, Lovell finishes the job, and they will close out their season with a 25-1 record.